Muy buena... ¡Hostia, Dios mío! ¡Se me va la voz! Muy buena gente. ¡Seguimos! Gente, en el capítulo anterior nos habíamos quedado por aquí. Habíamos estado ya echando un vistacito por Tuchanka. Estuvimos hablando con Rex, que está allí encima. Mira, ahí sale el nombre Rex. Y le estuvimos preguntando un poquito qué le pasaba al Grunt, ¿de acuerdo? Y cómo podíamos encontrar para lo diré, el salariano que está buscando Mordin, ¿de acuerdo? Para el tema de la genofagia. Vale, habíamos hecho aquí un amiguito, gente, que me parece a mí que lo voy a llamar Mr. Noodles, gente. El señor Fideos. Hostia, porque es que estoy grabando justamente este capítulo detrás del anterior y no me ha dado tiempo a ponerme aquí a pensar un nombrecito en condiciones, gente. Así que lo vamos a llamar Mr. Noodles, gente. Sí, sí, porque otro nombre podríamos llamarlo... Nah, sí, Mr. Noodles. Me ha gustado, gente. Tiene un poquito de Mr. Noodles. Tiene un poquito de gancho. Vale, gente, pues vamos entonces a hablar con el jefe de no sé qué historias aquí. Que... Esto es para iniciar la misión de Mordin, ¿de acuerdo? Vamos a empezar la misión de Mordin en este capítulo. A ver si nos da tiempo a hacerla entera.
What do you want, human? You're crowding my hump.
So, you're in charge of Erdnot's scouts? Why waste your time shooting at vermin?
Ammunition is the one thing we're not hurting for on Tuchanka. As scout commander, I have to set an example. Plus, the little bastards get into food supplies if their numbers get too high. Can't have that.
You see a lot of action around here?
Enough. Varen here and there, and snakes in any of the water safe enough to drink. Rex has made ceasefire agreements with some of the clans, but I still have to patrol, keep them honest.
What does the scout commander do?
We find out where the enemies are, and we make them think that there are too many of us to screw with. Sometimes that means harassing the perimeter, taking out a generator or two. Other times, we play hide and seek. We leave lots of tracks, exaggerate our numbers.
That's not recon, that's sabotage.
It's a lot easier to count their numbers once you blow some of them up. Everyone knows where Erdnot is, human. It's not like we can hide.
So every clan of Tuchanka encroaches on the other clan's borders?
Borders? This is Tuchanka. Our borders are determined by the range of our guns. We are what we are, human. If we didn't fire at them, they wouldn't take us seriously.
Don't your storehouses have automated defenses?
Why bother? Half of what we eat is vermin. And if we get hold of defense systems, we don't use them to guard grain. We've got weapons stockpiles to take care of. Beyond that, our women and children get the security.
Taking care of your food supply would help more in the long run.
If Clan Jordan kills our guards and helps itself to our well-secured food, there won't be a long term. This is Tuchanka. Having power and clean water means we're living in luxury.
Your enemies go after civilians?
Easiest way to wipe out a clan. Women and kids can fight, but they're always outnumbered if another clan goes after them. If its women and children are killed, the clan's hope for the future is lost. It falls apart. We don't do that, though. Rex's orders. Even if it costs us a battle, we don't fire on non-combatants.
Thanks for the information.
Whatever. What do you want, human? You're crowding my hump.
I'm looking for a Solarian. The Blood Pack captured him and he was last seen around here.
I heard about that Solarian. Poor bastard. If it's Blood Pack, then Clan Weirlock has him. Sent one of my scouts to check it out, but he never reported back. Guess they got him, too. Chief told me to give you one of the trucks. Just follow the highway to Weirlock's base, if you've got the quads to deal with him in the Blood Pack.
What can you tell me about Clan Weirlock's base?
Last I heard, the clan was holed up in an old hospital. I haven't seen it, though. I've only seen Clan Weirlock from a distance. If I'd gotten closer, I'd have taken a shot. You get inside, though, bring a big gun. Weirlock's base is crawling with Blood Pack.
That doesn't sound too defensible. Why'd they hole up there?
Any hospital on Tachanka has to be built well enough to withstand a bunch of enraged Krogan. When an injury forces us to switch over to secondary organs, things get messy. Higher thought processes don't always transition properly. Blood rage, they call it.
Any idea what they're doing with the Solarian?
I assume they wanted to torture him. You don't take somebody home just to kill them. It's messy. Maybe he pissed off the blood pack, and they brought him here for special treatment. No skin off my hump what they'd do with him. One less alien on Tachanka.
You don't seem to have much love lost for aliens.
Don't get your quads in a twist. If I was gonna kill you, you'd know it. Rex believes we need to unite the Krogan people. I don't think we can do that with off-worlders interfering, but it's not my call.
What's Clan Werlock's reputation, and how are they involved with the blood pack?
Tough humps, and they're not friendly like we are. You ever run into the blood pack? Mercenary gang. Clan Werlock started it, one of the only gangs with an off-world presence. They're fanatics, totally devoted to Werlock Guld. Whatever they did with your Solarian, Guld's behind it.
What makes Guld so special?
He's got 2 children. One of them is a girl. Some people think he's got a destiny. Not me. I had a cousin who won 20 consecutive games of Quasar. Lucky bastard. I'd ask my cousin for a loan, but I wouldn't swear allegiance to him. Luck. That's all it is. Same for Guld.
But the blood pack has non-Krogan members, like Vorcha.
Ha! The Vorcha. They're just like the Varen. Only they can use guns and don't crap on the floor as often. The Krogan are the only real members of the blood pack. Anyone else is just there to soak enemy fire.
Vale, gente, pues después de esta charlita que nos ha llevado 7 minutacos, gente, vamos a ponernos en marcha. Me parece a mí que me voy a llevar, gente, a Miranda, tío. Sí, porque he hecho menillo el taking cover. Vale. A ver. El daño que hacen sus armas. La fuerza de su escudo y este... Venga, sí, lo de los escudos. Ah, mire, esto es una descarga. Lo que pasa es que no lo voy a utilizar mucho, gente. Vamos a darle a esto. Vale. Miranda nada y Shepard nada, gente. Va, gente, pues empezamos la misión. ¡Quita, coño! Empezamos la misioncilla de Mordin, gente. A ver qué tal. No me acuerdo cómo era la misión de Mordin exactamente. ¿Veis? Fijaos que... Mira, y fijaos el sol. No sé si es que tiene mucha... Ah, bueno, no, espérate. Esto no es el sol. Esto es un planeta o algo que hay en medio, ¿no? No sé. Vea, gente, pues vamos a ponernos en marcha. Estos son altavoces.
Get ready to fight. Just to neutralize.
You bet.
We'll stay close.
No, nada, gente, me creí que se iba a poner esto intensito, pero no, no. Venga, va. ¿Veis, gente? Es muy feo tu chanca, ¿eh? Ah, no viene, es verdad, no viene con nosotros el perrito, tío.
Of course.
With you.
No viene con nosotros Mr. Noodles.
Affirmative.
Ah, son bolsas de mierda, gente.
Moving out of line of fire.
You got it.
Be right there.
With you.
Vale, no, han muerto, han muerto. Mira, aquí tenemos munición, gente. Me parece que tenemos que ir allí, gente, a la torre, a lo alto justamente tenemos que subir.
Heading to cover.
Of course. Oh, not difficult. Problematic targeting. Of course.
Heads
Do
up.
the trick.
Bien, bien, bien.
With you.
We'll stay close.
A ver. No, no lo ha dicho.
Overload deployed.
Uy.
Going to cover.
Not a
Hostile.
problem.
Going to cover.
Nice. One less.
Nice. Oh, más petardazo en la cara, amigo.
Simple enough.
Let's go.
Understood. Right behind you.
Simple enough.
Heading to cover. Understood.
Tío, pero ¿por qué se me viene Miranda y me empuja, tío?
Understood.
Not a problem.
Ah, me parece que aquí hay un poquito de iridio. Vamos a pillarlo, no nos sirve de nada.
Going to cover.
Not a problem.
Ahora ese, going to cover. ¡Toma! Morid, bichos de mierda.
Taking cover.
Not a problem. Just the thing to help.
Hostia, pues me quedé sin munición, ¿eh? Let's go.
Excellent.
No me vaya a soltar ninguna... Ah, vale, sí, mira, aquí hay una. Digo, no veo. Así vaya a ser conmigo. No me vais a dejar. No me vais a dejar nada. Vale, es por ahí, ¿eh, gente? Sí. A ver, pero quiero ver, a ver qué hay por aquí. Aquí al final, a la izquierda. Nada. Pues venga, seguimos, gente. 13 minutos, ¿eh? Bueno, casi 14 ya. Ignoro cuán larga es la misión, gente, así que vamos, no sé, nos lo vamos a tomar con un poquito de calma. Este aquí, este es este. Va. Pa.
Repurposed Krogan Hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment.
The only buildings more durable are their bomb shelters, but most of those were destroyed in civil wars.
Vale, estamos entrando. Bueno, no sé si este es el hospital ya,
That
¿eh?
body, human. Need to take a look. Sores, tumors, ligatures showing restraint at wrists and ankles, track marks for repeated injection sites. Test subject, victim of experimentation.
I don't suppose there's a way to tell who this poor bastard was?
No tattoos or ID. Maybe slave or prisoner, maybe merc or pirate. Irrelevant now. Clearly part of Krogan tests to cure genophage. Humans useful as test subjects, genetically diverse, enables exploration of treatment modalities.
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes Cerberus start to seem like a good idea.
My report will mention that.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting, unethical, sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers. No place in proper science. Krogan use of humans, unsurprising.
I imagine you had to do some live subject testing while developing the new genophage.
No, unnecessary. Limited tests to simulations, corpses, cloned tissue samples. High-level tests on Varen. No tests on species with members capable of calculus. Simple rule, never broke it.
Wouldn't something native to Tuchanka work better? Varen, maybe?
Yes, human experiments strictly high-level, concept testing. Native Tuchanka fauna likely used later in development stages. Wise to delay use of Varen until necessary. Powerful bite.
What can you tell about their experiments from looking at the body?
Position of tumors suggests deliberate mutation of adrenal, pineal glands, modifying hormone levels, counterattack on glands hit by genophage. Clever.
Do you think they're close to curing the genophage?
Can't say. Need more data. Conceptually sound, though. Genophage alters hormone levels, could repair damage with hormonal counterattack.
How are humans more genetically diverse?
More variable. Peaks and valleys, mutations, adaptations, far beyond other life. Makes humans useful test subjects. Larger reactions to smaller stimuli.
Ah, mira, espérate.
I know we can look much different from each other, but Asari have a wide range of skin tones.
No, ignore superficial appearance, down to genetic code. Biotic abilities, intelligence levels. Can look at random Asari, Krogan, make reasonable guess. Humans, too variable to judge. Outliers in all species, of course. Geniuses, idiots. But human probability curve offers greater overall variety.
Vale, no se refería a que hubiese humanos de... Bueno, no puedo decirlo porque si no YouTube se lo toma mal. Que hay humanos de diferentes tonalidades de piel. Se basa más bien, gente, en el tema de la... De eso, en el código genético y cómo es verdad que todos los salarianos suelen tener una inteligencia similar. Los Krogan suelen ser un poquito... Bueno, ya lo estuvimos comentando, ¿no? Los Batarianos, los Krogan, los Vorcha, ¿no? Son un poquito más tal, ¿no? Y los humanos sí que puede haber humanos muy inteligentes o humanos muy estúpidos, gente. Mucho más que un Krogan. Y eso no ocurre con el resto de razas, parece, pues, de especies, perdón, parece ser. Vale.
Come on, we still need to find Malin.
Agreed.
Va, gente, seguimos. 17 minutos, Ya os digo, ignoro cómo de larga es la misión, gente. Igual no ocupa un par de capítulos. Espero que no. Si me entra en un solo capítulo como de costumbre, tío, estaría increíble,
I am the speaker for Clan Werlock, Offworlders. You have shed our blood. By rights, you should be dead already. But Werlock Gold, the Chief of Chiefs, has ordered that you be given leave to flee and spread the message of our coming.
If I flee, I might trip over the dozen Krogan I killed to get here. I think I'll take my chances.
You killed our youngest and weakest human. They were not worthy of remaining near our glorious work. Inside, you will find only hardened, blood-packed veterans, tempered by savagery and war, and dedicated to one goal. The Solarian will cure the Genophage, and Clan Werlock will spread across the galaxy in a sea of blood.
Appears they discovered Malin's work. Unfortunate.
It doesn't have to happen like this. I can understand wanting to cure the Genophage.
No, human, you understand nothing! You have not seen the piles of children that never lived. The Krogan were wronged. We will make it right, and then we will have our revenge!
Half the galaxy sees the Krogan as victims. If you start a war, you'll lose their support.
We have the Blood Pack, and we have the Solarian. When our clan numbers in the millions, we will not need support. When we cure the Genophage, Warlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will be...
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target.
We've been spotted. Here we go.
A tomar por culo. Caballerito. Hombre, que tengan la joroba esa tan pronunciada es un poquito... un tiro en el pie, ¿no? Porque... parece que ya. Es un poco tiro en el pie, ¿no, gente? Porque ellos están a cubierto, pero yo les sigo viendo la joroba y le puedes arrear fuerte. Vale, vamos para arriba, gente. Bueno, pues ha durado menos que el caramelo, un caramelo en la puerta de un colegio, ¿sabes, colega? El que iba a reinar sobre los Krogan, no sé qué chorrada. Adiós, coleguín.
Labs likely through there. Can smell antiseptic, hint of dead flesh.
Vale, parece que están cerca, ¿no? Por allí. Por aquí hay algo. Chatarra. Ahí está, gente. Intentamos pillar la mayor cantidad de crédito que nos hacen falta. 270.000 eras, gente. Estaría muy bien que se pudieran vender los materiales, tío.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences. Hormone mutagens still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors. Avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
Most people wouldn't be so casual about developing a sterility plague, Mordin.
Not developing, modifying, much more difficult, working within confines of existing genophage, 100 times the complexity. Errors unacceptable, could cause total sterility, malignant tumors, could even reduce effectiveness, worse than doing nothing. Had to keep Krogan population stable, 1 in 1,000. Perfect target, optimal growth. Like gardening.
You're saying you were working just as hard to keep their population from falling?
Yes, could have eradicated Krogan. Not difficult. Increased mutation to degrade genetic structure further. Chose not to. Rachni extinction tragic. Didn't want to repeat. All life precious. Universe demands diversity.
Pretty it up however you like. You're talking about murdering millions.
No, murdered no one. Altered fertility, prevented fetal development of nervous system. Have killed many, Shepard. Many methods. Gunfire, knives, drugs, tech attacks. Once with farming equipment, but not with medicine.
What was it like working on the genophage modification project?
Best years of my life. Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight. Laughter, ego, argument, passion, galaxy's biggest problem, massive resources thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
Do you keep in touch with your old team members?
No. All changed with deployment. Made test drop on isolated Krogan clan, hit rest of Tuchanka when results were positive. End of project. Separate ways. Watching it end, watching birth rates drop. Personal. Private. Not appropriate for team.
How can you agree with using the genophage, Mordin? Look at what happened to Tuchanka as a result.
State of Tuchanka not due to genophage. Nuclear winter caused by Krogan before Salarians made first contact. Krogan choices. Refuse truce during Krogan rebellions. Expand after Rachni wars. Splinter after genophage. Genophage medical, not nuclear. No craters from virus. Damage caused by Krogan, not Salarians, not me.
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that?
Yes, United Krogan saved Galaxy, destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment, simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
The effects on Tuchanka are still your responsibility. You upgraded the virus that kept them in barbarism.
Krogan committed war crimes, refused to negotiate. Turian defeat not complete. Krogan could have recovered, attacked again. Conventional war too risky. Krogan forces too strong. Genophage was only option. Krogan forced genophage, us or them. No apologies for winning. Wouldn't have minded peaceful solution.
We're not gonna find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
Vale, ya una vez explicado un poquito más en profundidad, gente, la genofagia no es tan malo. Los Krogan tienen cierta predisposición a ser muy... Vaya.
Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Werlock female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
I didn't expect you to be disturbed by the sight of a dead Krogan.
What? Why? Because of genophage work? Irrelevant. No. Causative. Never experimented on live Krogan. Never killed with medicine. Her death not my work. Only reaction to it. Goal was to stabilize population. Never wanted this. Can see it logically. But still unnecessary. Foolish. Waste of life. Hate to see it.
I didn't think you'd had much direct contact with things like this. Did you come to Tuchanka after dropping your plague?
Yearly recon missions. Water, tissue samples. Ensure no mistakes. Superiors offered to carry it on. Refused. Need to see it in person. Need to look. Need to see. Accepted as necessary. See small picture. Remind myself why I run a clinic on Omega. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Mordin.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives, then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor who killed millions.
Modified genophage project great in scope. Scientifically brilliant. But ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic. Not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor, genophage affects fertility, doesn't kill. Still, caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life. Popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
If you need this much soul searching to get over it, maybe the genophage was wrong.
Had to be done. Bracknai wars, Krogan rebellions, all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations. Effects of Krogan population increase, all pointed to war. Extinction. Genophage or genocide. Save galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from galaxy.
You could have cured the genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos on Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
When you put it that way, you did the right thing. Not many would have the guts to look at the results and own it.
Not easy. Sometimes wish I wasn't as intelligent. Choice would have fallen on someone else. Not my problem. Fool's wish. Had to be me. Others might have gotten it wrong. Ready to go, Shepard.
Hostia, veis, gente, está muy guay este personaje, tío. Fijaos como un tema como la genofagia, o sea, objetivamente hablando, o sea, es tan objetivo el personaje y tan inteligente que acabas viendo que hasta cierto punto lleva hasta razón, gente. Haberlos dejado vivos seguramente hubiese sido un riesgo que no hubiese sido interesante asumir. Porque ya habéis visto, gente, que los Krogan tienen tendencia a violencia extrema, gente. Y se reproducían, pero a toda hostia. En plan rata, gente. Tío, llevo ya unos cuantos días, macho, que a esta hora empieza a entrar el... Ah, tío, ¿qué pasa? Empieza a entrar el solecito por la ventana, tío, y pega perfecto en la pantalla y me dan todos los ojos, tío. Increíble, ¿eh? A ver. Además, ha sido vamos, en estos 30 últimos segundos, gente, se ha puesto el sol en el ángulo propicio, tío. Qué asco, por Dios. A ver, y este. Bueno, 1500. Aquí nos van a dar muy poca pasta, gente, porque este se supone que lo deberíamos de haber hecho al principio. A ver, este.
You killed the Bloodpack guards.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm a nerd, not scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
The chief scout told us to watch for you. We've taken out the guards. Get back to Erdnot.
I can't. The Werlock did things to me. Drugs. Injections. Said I was sacrificing for the good of all Krogan. Experiments to cure the Genophage. Everything's blurry. Hard to think. Have to stay.
Mordin, can you get him back on his feet? Stims, maybe? Something to bolster his immune system?
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the Genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the Genophage, then I mattered.
Millions of children will be born. Werlock children. They're going to destroy the other clans.
But... no. No, they said I was helping Erdnot.
If you want to help Erdnot, you need to get back there. But it would take a real badass to make it back to camp while injured.
I can do it.
You? I said a badass, not some scout whining like a Quarian with a tummy ache.
I can do it. I'm up. And I'm going to the female camp.
Damn right you are. Get back there and show them what you're worth. Go. Go!
Hopefully his story of curing the Genophage will be passed off as a hallucination.
Neutralized all hostiles.
¿Qué cojones? Me ha hecho mucha gracia.
Shepard, I'm detecting crates ahead that are holding unstable materials. A misplaced shot could cause a significant explosion.
Or a well-placed shot. Explosives burn through Krogan.
Vale, gente. Vale, hay que tener esto, ¿no? Ah, vale. Tío, ¿y por qué me han asustado? Digo, no ve, le voy a meter un tiro a cualquier historia, ¿sabes? Y no ve la que vamos a formar. ¡Toma! Hostia, y me da, ¿sabes? ¡Hermano!
Killed that one!
Queda peña, pero me parece que está por abajo o algo, ¿no? O debajo nuestra, tal vez, ¿no? Vienen Barren, ¿eh? ¡Toma! Vale, muerto, muerto. Mira, aquí tenemos munición. Aquí ni nada. Baterías.
Taking cover!
Vienen, ponte allí, primo.
Cover. Not a problem.
This I was standing down with.
Ah, mira, hostia, ese es el Guld, gente. Del que estaban hablando todo el rato. Muertísimo, gente. Fíjate que viene más peña, me parece, ¿eh? Bueno, allí se ha abierto una puerta por la cara, random.
All enemies accounted for.
Vale, aquella no se abre, gente. Hostia, 36 minutos, por cierto. Creo que es por aquí, ¿no, gente? Tal vez. Si ha sido la que se ha abierto, pues... A ver, vamos a echarle un vistacito aquí, qué es lo que pasa. A ver, ¿qué está pasando aquí? Ah. Vale, 3000 créditos, gente. A ver, yo creo que tenemos ya, ¿no? A ver. Créditos 20... No, tenemos muy poquito. Tenemos la mitad, gente, para algún cacharrito, gente. Necesitamos muchos créditos, ¿eh? No sé si lo vamos a conseguir. Me gustaría, gente. Porque así de paso podemos sacar algún trofeillo extra, no sé. Me apetece sacar algún trofeillo que otro. Me da igual el platino porque el platino será sacando todas las opciones de todas las mierdas y todas las historias y no... No creo que rente mucho, gente, ponerse a eso. Este y el trozo, el tocho blanco, gente. Este. Allá vamos, gente. A ver qué...
This looks interesting.
Vale, pues tenemos otra cosita. Ah, mira.
Malin, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
Maybe the Werelock brainwashed or drugged him to keep him under control.
Unlikely. Pupil's normal. Body language consistent with standard metabolic state.
Please, Professor, you wrote a paper on this. Forced behavior modification always results in mental degradation. Whether from Reaper indoctrination or drugs, test subjects always lose higher cognitive function.
Not brainwashed or conditioned. Need Malin at peak capacity for work. Must be alternate source of coercion.
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the genophage.
Impossible. Whole team agreed. Project necessary.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student! I looked up to you!
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiments are monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Mordin, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Malin.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
What happens if the genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That'll be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps. likely involving colony rights in the Traverse. The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse. And I'm going to fix it.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
Why work with Clan Werelock? And how did you access the genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Werelock, they were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Urdnot has a larger camp than Werelock. Why not use them?
Urdnot Rex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Urdnot's loss and Werelock's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover from the crime we committed.
Malin clearly doesn't need rescuing. What do you want to do?
Have to end this.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you.
Wait, you don't need to do this, Mordin. You're not a murderer.
No, not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard. Finished, Malin. Get out. No Werelock left. Project over.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special task group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
What if he talks to more Krogan? Tells the public about the modified genophage project?
Special tasks group good at covering tracks. No proof. Werelock willingness to work with Salarian, unusual. Other Krogan will kill him.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I supposed to go, Professor?
Don't care. Try Omega. Can always use another clinic.
The Krogan didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The genophage needs to end.
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Don't worry about me, Mordin. How are you doing?
Should have killed him. Wanted to. Easier than listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen. Expected it from Krogan. Not one of mine.
Maybe you'll remember that the next time you're discussing the ethics of the genophage.
Yes. So many variables. Stress responses. Impossible to truly predict. Something to think about. Malin's research. Only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure. Security. Still valuable, though.
If you think it could be useful, why not hang on to it?
Worked for years to create modified genophage. Should destroy this. Malin's work could cure genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan. Effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
Hostia, tenemos aquí 4 tal, ¿eh? Ayudar a los Krogan. Hombre, si ayudamos a los Krogan, gente, lo bueno es que en el 3 me parece que podemos beneficiarnos de esa elección, ¿de acuerdo? Esta elección ahora mismo me parece que es bastante relevante en el 3, ¿eh, gente? Claro, si ayudamos a los Krogan, después no hay posibilidad de maniobra más adelante. Si la genofagia es lo correcto, igual no nos ayudan los Krogan más adelante para lo que necesitamos en el 3. Si te quedas con los datos, destruir los datos eliminaría la posibilidad. Y aquí este gente sería el más inteligente porque dejaría la puerta abierta, gente. Nos quedaríamos... Este sería más bien un término medio, gente. Ni uno ni otro. Es que yo no me acuerdo en el 3, gente. Igual si eliminamos lo que sea, gente, igual la liamos, gente.
Keep the data. Better to have it and not need it.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from cure, but closer than starting from scratch. Done. Ready to go. Ready to be off to Chunka. Anywhere else. Maybe somewhere sunny.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, perfecto, gente. 45 minutos, ¿de acuerdo? Pues esta es la misión... Bueno, ha estado regulín, ¿eh? Tampoco... A ver, ha estado regulín en cuanto a espectacularidad. No ha sido... No, la que yo decía, gente, era otra misión, tío. Era del 3. La que tenemos que subir como una torre muy alta. Ya la veréis. Esa sí que está guapa. Me creía que era esa, gente. Pues no, esto... Quizás es la misión más flojita junto a la de Jacob. Es de las más flojitas. La de Grum me parece que sí que estaba guapa, ¿eh? Si no recuerdo mal. Vale, pues ya está. Nos hemos quedado en un punto medio, gente, que tenemos la puerta abierta a intentar ayudar a los Krogan, gente. Pero tampoco lo hemos ayudado, ¿de acuerdo? Para que después no podamos echar marcha atrás. Yo creo que ha sido la decisión más inteligente, ¿eh? La cura, trofeo de bronce. Gente, pues vamos a ir a la nave, ¿de acuerdo? Porque... A ver.
Ah, Tachanka. Crude, dangerous, and probably radioactive. Let's get in, do what we need to do, and get out fast.
Vale, vamos a la Normandía, gente. Oh. Oye, pues en realidad primitivo, pero que tenían unos buenos rascacielos, ¿eh? Los cabrones. Ojito, no eran tan primitivos. A ver, gente.
How may I help you, Commander?
Espérate, vamos a charlar con ella.
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Vale, nada, gente. No hemos dicho nada. Vale, pues ahora sí que podemos hablar con Mordin. A ver si nos suelta el... Mira, prototipo, gente. Munición para armas pesadas. Let's go. Y nos queda un prototipo más. Vitalidad Krogan. Todos los miembros Krogan. Esto nada más que le sirve al pollo este. Vamos a hablar con Mordin, gente. Un poquito, ¿de acuerdo? Tenemos todavía casi 10 minutillos.
Still hard to believe Malin betrayed me. Betrayed my work. Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Almost thought he lacked backbone. Hope he finds something new. Better goal, better purpose. Fewer torture tests.
You're really at peace with what happened?
Yes, of course. Can't change what happened. Life continues. Back to mission, back to work. Become like Malin otherwise. Solarian emotional processing faster than other species. Has to be. Short-lived culture can't spend time reminiscing.
So you really don't feel bad at all about what happened on Tachanka?
Yes, correct. Now at least. Greatly distressed at the time. Stages of grief, loss, anger, rationalization. Dealt with it. Most issues settled on Tachanka, some on shuttle back to Normandy.
Malin didn't seem like he processed his emotional response. He was obsessed with the genophage.
True, didn't mean to imply that Solarians were healthier emotionally, can still make wrong choices, bad decisions from grief, anger, guilt. Malin couldn't accept feelings. Made decision, executed. Probably before I left for Omega. Wish I'd seen it. Solarians still feel, just resolve it quickly. Explains lack of marriage, can't sustain courtship emotions. Or perhaps based on reproduction. Unsure.
What about Malin's data on the genophage? His attempts at a cure?
What about it? Have it over there somewhere. Not dealing with it now. Need to focus on collectors. Not important now, regardless. Appreciate you helping me back on Tachanka. Should get back to work. Wasted enough time already. Lots to do. Talk later?
Vale, pues parece... A ver, espérate, ¿no? ¿Dice algo más?
How can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Not a good time. Trying to map contamination vectors requires focus. Shipwide infection of human-tailored virus possible if I slip. Anything else?
Hostia, dice, si se equivoca es posible que se parta un virus que afecta a humanos por toda la nave. ¿Qué cojones? Vale, pues gente, ya tenemos la primera, otra vez podemos seguir hablando, ¿de acuerdo? Volveremos a hablar con él más adelante. Vamos a hacer una cosa. Como todavía tenemos unos minutitos. Aquí. Vamos a hablar con Zane porque con Zane todavía tenemos diálogo, me parece.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Very well. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Erica. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset eyes defiant in the scope. That was Erica. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
So how did she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles, not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Urashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Erica and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Batarians, a slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the Shadow Broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Erica woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly, to minimize suffering. I let them linger.
You were operating on instinct. By your own rules, you can't blame yourself.
But I made the choice to hunt them. They're the only lives I've ever taken of my own choice. The only deaths on my own conscience. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Thane, the worst thing is to face death with regrets. You're part of my crew, and I consider you a friend. If there's anything I can help you with, just ask.
I've never been part of a team. Assassins tend to be solitary. I'm learning the virtues of facing death with others at your side. It's a work in progress.
Bien, gente. Pues muy chulo también el personaje de Zane, ¿eh? Eh, 53 minutos. Gente, vamos a hacer una cosa. Vamos... Bueno, espérate, es que claro. Espérate, a ver qué nos comenta Samara.
Shepard.
I wanted to check in.
I am always happy to talk with you.
I'm interested in hearing more about Asari Justicars.
We hold a unique place in Asari culture. Justicars are from another era. Young Asari grow up watching vids about our adventures. Pure fiction, of course. Some Asari are uncomfortable with us, but so few Justicars exist that most have never met one.
There were only a few Justicars?
Few Asari wish to make the sacrifices necessary to become one of us, and the training has a high casualty rate. It is a life of constant danger. Throughout the entire galaxy, there are only a handful of us at any time.
Why would anyone want to be a Justicar?
It is A deeply personal matter. Sometimes the most brutal path is the only honest one.
This code of the Justicar seems central to your life.
It is 5,000 sutras and covers every situation one can encounter. I have memorized every word. There is only the code.
Sometimes justice calls for mercy.
It does not exist to bring about spiritual enlightenment. Its purpose is to punish the wicked and protect the innocent.
The Asari I've spoken to seem conflicted about Justicars.
In this age, people see shades of gray everywhere. The code of the Justicar is black and white. I might seem a hero to many, but I would kill all of them if I had to.
What role do you think Justicars have in Asari society?
I would say that the closest human equivalent is a knight-errant in your medieval lore. Perhaps mixed with a bit of samurai.
What does your code say about killing?
I am compelled to kill the wicked. If a Justicar is involved, peaceful solutions are long past.
You make killing sound so casual.
I remember each being I have slain. They are always in my thoughts.
You know about knights errant and samurai?
When I knew I must leave Asari space again, I studied the history and morals of new species. When I was a maiden wandering the galaxy, humans had not yet arrived.
What did your studies tell you about us?
You are more individualistic than any other species I have encountered. If 3 humans are in a room, there will be 6 opinions. I like your species. I am curious to see what you will do.
Does the code forbid romantic involvement?
It does not. However, I would never be interested in such. That part of my life is well behind me.
You could meet someone who reawakens those desires.
I am nearly 1,000 years old. I know myself and my desires. But your curiosity is quite welcome.
I should go.
I'm glad we spoke.
Hay un poquito de... Existe una ligera tensión, pero no mucha. Tiene casi 1000 años Samara, ¿sabéis, gente? Que lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí porque llevamos ya casi 57 minutos y medio y me quedo sin tiempo, no me da tiempo a seguir conversando con más gente. Creo que Garrus ya no tiene más... Ahora nos llegaremos, gente, en el siguiente capítulo nos vamos a llegar a Garrus y a Tali. Quiero ver a ver si Tali nos comenta algo nuevo. Creo que no, pero bueno, por probar, gente, no estaría de más. Y nada más, gente. Ya no sé quién más con quién podemos hablar, creo que no. Jack nos manda la mierda. Garrus yo creo que no. Bueno, ya veremos, gente. Y Miranda también nos va a mandar a la mierda. Ya veremos en el siguiente capítulo, ¿de acuerdo? Nos tomaremos unos minutitos antes de nada. Como no, yo creo que nos sobrará igual unos 15 minutos con la misión de Grunt. Confío. Nos da tiempo a hablar brevemente al principio del siguiente capítulo, ¿de acuerdo? Pues nada, gente, vamos a echar un guardadito por aquí. Aquí en el 5, ¿de acuerdo? Y continuaremos ya en el siguiente capítulo, gente. Una misión menos de la que preocuparse, ¿de acuerdo? ¿Cómo? Vuelve a hablar con el jefe de exploradores de... A ver si el explorador... Ah, vale, vale. Esto tenemos que hablar ahora después con uno de Tuchanka, ¿de acuerdo? Una misión nueva. Y esto... Dale el colector de combustión. Encuentro un colector de combustión. Ah, hemos encontrado uno, vale. Pues entonces, gente, en el siguiente... O lo podemos dejar para el final, no hay problema. Ya veremos cómo lo hacemos, gente, que me quedo sin tiempo. Nada, como siempre os digo, muchísimas gracias por estar ahí. Gracias por acompañarme, gente. Espero que hayáis disfrutado del capitulillo. Y ya en el siguiente capítulo, pues terminamos la última misión, gente. Y comenzamos ya por fin la recta final, ¿de acuerdo, gente? Pues lo dicho, muchísimas gracias y nos vemos en el siguiente. ¡Chao!